What's going on, Tony? Yeah, man, it's good to hear from you too, man, and be back on the show. Same old thing here in Kern Valley, waiting for the next move. They supposed to be opening up some new blocks over here, so we're over here waiting for whoever. But yeah, man, Donovan. Yeah, Donovan was that was a different animal that I had never encountered, and shoot, my freaking what's now 26 years of doing, time from YA to here. I mean, I've been everywhere. I've been on death row, the adjustment center. I've been to corporate shoe, Tehachapi shoe. Spent 8.5 years straight in the shoe, from various incidents with cops and, actives and, pushing the whole Northern Rider thing when I was a part of, the origination of that. But yeah, Donovan was, man, I had never even encountered anything like that. Donovan was like the street, man. It was Maney, man. I had come from Salinas Valley after we kicked off that riot in 2017. When we pretty much decimated our enemies. The two fivers there. The NCs went up, and we had to do what we do, and they shot us all around. Then I ended up bouncing to Donavon. I'm like, man, I'm out here at the end of the world. I'm from Northern California, so it's like, man, I'm way out here in Donovan and that's San Diego land. So I pull up. I already had two homies there, and they were like, look, bro, this place ain't the same. This ain't like Kern Valley. This ain't like Salinas, man. This place is like gutter. The cops don't care, man. There's riots all the time. They don't even hit the alarm. They just tell everybody stop horseplaying and go about your business. And I'm like, what? Nah. They're like, man, don't freaking think that this place is like some soft yard because it's a 270. It's not a high security yard like a 180. I was like, nah, man, you guys are tripping. But yeah, man, I seen it, man. I think one of my first incidents, man, I seen some dude get knocked out for his shoes. The dude knocked him out. I lived on 13 block, and I was there on Donavon for 10 months, and no Northern Riders walked there, and it's pretty much just all two fivers. But I knew one of the founding two fivers there, Speedy from 18 from Shadow Park, and he was an old man in the 60s. And, I had took his back on an issue when we were all still pretty much mutual. I would say mutual because we had moved from being cousins in the early 2000s, being kindred movements, to just having little issues here and there, and I guess on the SNY side, and then I had stabbed three of them in a major riot here in Kern Valley on this same yard in 2013. But we had that respect. What's done is done, and we move on. And he was attacked by pretty much just a nobody, somebody who claimed to be a rider, some individual stranger who cut him, and dude ended up beating the stranger's ass anyway. But what it was dude did it because we were gonna get him. Homies was gonna jump on him. I had just come out the shoe, and I guess this individual had disrespected and whatnot. So he knew he had something coming, but before we could get to him, he went ahead and just whacked one of the 2-5 founders and got off the yard, pretty much for safety. Because, a lot of people will do that. Just because you hit somebody don't mean nothing. It's why you're doing it. And this individual right here, he just did it to get off the yard. So, when I got down there, this individual knew who I was, Speedy knew who I was, and he was like, look, man, just lay low key, man. Don't tell my homies who you are with the woo. Because I was going as, just Norteño strategies. When you hit another prison, you hit another prison under a different name. So people don't know exactly who you are right away. And, and you continue with that name. So when new arrivals show up, they ask for a certain name. And you're like, oh, okay, he's not here. What are you talking about? But you get to see that individual before. You get to see, not to see, but you get to know who that individual is before he sees you or knows who you are. So this individual, Speedy, he was like, look, man, just kick it down here and just don't trip, fool. Like I got you, fool. I'm gonna make sure none of these fools would do a woo. And I was like, man, I ain't tripping. You already know. He was like, nah, but you have my back in an incident in Corcoran. in 2015, and I got you. I was like, all right, that's cool. It's good. But we always stay strapped. As NC doctrine is, and I mean, we stay strapped and ready to body the next thing, anything in our way. So, uh, I kicked it down there, and like I think my second week, man, I seen so much. Man, I was like, what the hell? Where am I? Like, you couldn't be a convict down there. That didn't exist. What you had to be was full on gutter. Like, there was no mutual respect. There was like, it was pretty much like all the dudes that are locked it up in California, they ended up down there. And so that just created a bunch of havoc and chaos and just dudes owing. And you see dudes get stabbed all the time. Like, this just like, you could do this. I always give this analogy when I try to break it down to individuals. Donovan was a place where you can make two burritos, eat one, and know you're gonna go out to the yard, stab somebody, and come back to your cell. You're gonna make it back to the cell, and eat your other burrito. So yeah, it was crazy, man. You see cops, man, just busting out with cell phones, recording full on stabbings, fights, promoting stabbings and fights. I mean, they were investigating. It was a big old investigation down there, and which is why there was body cameras and stuff down there. A lot of abuses or whatever they wanted to say was going on, which was pretty messed up. There was a lot of crippled dudes that were getting beat up, but it was mainly, man. It was mainly like, I'll say, like, man, they would have it to where if you had a lawsuit or something on a cop in another joint, that cop would find out. If he found out you were in Donovan, all they had to do is make a phone call, and they make your life miserable. So all these legal beagles and all these dudes like to push all this paperwork. People, and these cops not retaliating in the same fashion that they're being retaliated on. They had it bad, man, and they would assign these, these lames or these weak 2-5ers to do their bidding, and it was like the 2-5ers are working for the cops. So basically, what they would do is they would be like, look, you 2-5ers go ahead and smash this dude, stab him out, whatever you need to do, hurt him, and we'll give you you can have his property, you can have all his stuff. But he got the gang of stuff in there, and that was like a daily thing, man. Like, I don't even know, there's so much on Donovan. It's like it was another world right there. But yeah, man, it was crazy. It was a hell of a place, man. Never had I ever encountered anything. I don't think that there'll ever be another Donovan. Donovan was like the streets. Like, basically, man, we had no program. Like, dinner was whenever. Pill call was whenever. We could walk to pill call sometimes at 10 o'clock at night. And it's like, what the heck? Like, I don't know. It was so out of order and so out of what prison is supposed to be. A bunch of, rules and schedules. And, this is at this time. This is at that time. Just basic structure. And Donovan had none of that. Donovan flipped everything on its head. And it was like, we're just going to do what we do down here, and who cares? It was so bad. Like, my last 45 days there was 3 murders on the yard. I mean, one dude got killed in the cell, and, they wrote off his, and this dude didn't even have a cellie. So it was crazy. Another dude got smacked with a rock in the head all over the thing. He had the female CO crying everywhere because his brains were all over the pill line. I mean, because he was going to pill call and got smacked with a big ass rock. And like, yeah, it was just over and over and over. And I mean, when we were down there, the NCs, we had like 20 incidents and 8 stabbings, and it was just like, I don't know, like it wasn't, you couldn't be like, have that convict respect for an individual and hold him at his word down there. Nah, people would rather test you, try to break in your cell, get your stuff, just a bunch of underhanded things. And Donovan was gangster in a way where the cops didn't let nobody lock it up. So if individuals tried to lock it up, what they would do was they'd put them in the cage over there. They would tune them up a little bit, crack the ribs up a little bit, and then they would drag them back to the building. And usually there's a day room or some porters or anything out there, and the cops would make an announcement like, look, this individual right here, man, he wants to roll it up, man. So, I mean, anybody want to send him out of the way, go ahead, man. You know what's in store. So that meant pretty much, if you get this dude out of here, they didn't respect the cowards, pretty much. I mean, so if you got the dude out of there, you can keep all his property. And it's crazy. I mean, like, no one could believe. I mean, it was like, trust me, like, if I would have heard this from being in all these, regimented places, Kern Valley, Salinas Valley, being in the shoes, Old Corcoran, I would have been like, nah, man, this is a fairy tale. I mean, these guys lying. Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm trying. Like, my first instance, I literally seen a dude get knocked out. His shoes, for his shoes, the dude tried the shoes on. They didn't fit, so they threw the shoes on the roof. And I mean, the cops just be right there laughing, man. Like, I've seen dudes get maxed out and then run toward the cops so they can run toward safety, and then the cops start beating their ass because I mean, they were on some
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
down there, man. I'm dead serious, man. And a lot of them cops like claim their local neighborhoods in San Diego, which was cool, But it was like they wanted to do all that, but then they didn't want to do other illicit things to with finances, and they were just on some like straight gangbanger type thing. And yeah, the cops were nobody to mess with out there, man. It was that was many. So as I'm down there, I get a PIA job. I work PIA laundry. I'm sending. I've probably sent about at least 10 pounds of metal out to the yard. Like, we had pieces everywhere because we were in enemy territory. Well, my first two homies that got down there, they were down there for probably like 3 months before I got down there. And I got there in the end of January 2018. And so I pull up, and then as I'm there, other vehicles are pulling up, and we get to a number of like 8, and a couple of them did some stabbing, some other little things to, not to get off the yard, but just business. So they went to the hole, but it had come up a couple times because we share the hole with Lancaster, and Lancaster is a triple CMS hole. So the individuals who are triple CMS, the 2-5ers, they couldn't stay in Donavon because they didn't have a triple CMS program, which is like pretty much mental health. You just need counseling here and there, which most of us just do to get half of a shoe term. We get 18 months shoe term. If you're triple CMS, you only do 9 months. So why wouldn't you say, oh yeah, I'll talk to a counselor, every 90 days or every other week or so I can get out of the shoe faster? I mean, who wouldn't do that? I mean, it's just smart thinking. You ain't got to take no pills. You ain't got to do none of that. So, these individuals that had gotten in trouble in Donavon had went to Lancaster, and these 2-5ers, and they found out, the whole thing, like all these NCs, they smacked a gang of homies up in Salinas Valley, 86 them off the yard. No 2-5ers can walk that yard. And what the hell they doing on our yard? There's like 30 of us down here, and I mean, and so, they came back, reported to their homies, man. We got wind a couple times that, these individuals were up to shenanigans saying that they were going to kill a northerner and make the news. They don't think we know who they are. And because by that time, Speedy, he couldn't hold back the truth no more. I was Scrappy, and, these other individuals were my homies, and, they were like, they're already here. Like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, I mean, we had a pretty much, we had a strong reputation among our people that, not just among our people, but among CDC, that, we were a dangerous fighting force, and, all of us will, gun down to kill each and every one of us. It's ingrained in, our edicts. So these individuals are like, what the heck? Well, Donavon had this. This was about Donavon. I'll say this about the 2-5ers down there. Most of them individuals were no good. They had been maxed out somewhere else. So a lot of them thought twice on trying to do anything to us because they were like, well, if we move on these individuals, we're no good in a lot of other prisons. So if we do that, we're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot. We're gonna end up going to other prisons where, our own homies gonna max us out. So we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. So, programming with the NCs for 2-5ers is like, I don't know, that ends your career, I guess, forever. But I don't know, that's something that they do. But so the first time, they had told some Africano brothers that they were gonna try to body a northerner. They needed to get a gang of dope. The Africanos were doing their thing, so they were like, okay, well, how much you need? They're like, oh, we need this, and that. And the Africano brothers were, they were tied in with us, because we're northerners, so we get along with most of the blacks, and we'll assist each other in certain events. And the Afrikaners come straight to us, like, hey, these fools are talking about bodying some northerner with the wool, bro. It's gotta be y'all, bro. It's gotta be y'all. So it's like, look, thank you. Don't trip. Nobody will never find out. Don't worry about it. So, I mean, a few days go by, and we casually slip the conversation into these two fivers' ears and have them sit down at the table. And we're like, look, check it out, bro. Your homies on different blocks, man, have been running their mouth about bodying northerner with women. What's up? Bro, we right here, bro. Like, bro, put your piece on the table, bro. The homie slapped the piece on the table. Like, look, what's up? Slap, what's up? And they're like, nah, it's the OG. Like 3 OGs, Jaime, another founder of the Two Fivers, and, it's from Chile. He been down like 40 years from Maravilla. And that fool Speedy. And Speedy's like, look, I've already told you, bro. Like, my homies ain't gonna do a damn thing. But he was one of the individuals that, yeah, he was a founder, but he like had no more power. He had messed up a lot and did a lot of crap that they didn't like. So he wasn't who he thought he was to them anymore. So we're like, look, man, we hear it again, bro. Like, I mean, we ain't gonna bring it to you guys. I mean, you already know what's up. So we were like, all right, bam, we let that go. They broke it down. We watched them. And by the second time we got the rumor, we already had a couple Two Fivers who didn't like the Two Fivers down there. So they were pretty much working for us. They were helping us bury our pieces and everything against their own. Like, look, when you kick it off on these fools, don't trip. Just tell us, and we're gonna stay inside that day. That way, we don't get in trouble for not jumping. Just let us know. So pretty much, they sold their homies out. They're cross-up artists. I guess they have people like that. But what ended up happening was we got an incident where an individual had hurt one of our homies, and we had sliced him up, this and that, and he got hit twice, 2 nights in a row, and the dude still didn't want to lock it up though. Still didn't want to lock it up. He even told, like, I'm telling you, Donavon didn't care. He even showed the cops, look, man, they stabbed me all up, man. Look, they're like, man, who did it? We're like, I don't know, man, I don't know. Well, I ain't gonna give you no medical attention if you don't. We ain't gonna get you no medical attention if you don't divulge who it was. And he was like, I don't care. And he went back to the cell, patched up, whatever, got gangrene, and had to go to a hospital later. But it was a gang incident like that. I've seen an incident like that down in Donavon where dude got cut with a box cutter ear to ear, and it was deep as hell. And it was like, but he was so much on heroin that he wasn't bleeding that much because his heart rate was so super low. So he's like, man, you think I can make it back to the cell? I'm like, bro, you gonna die, bro. Just tell these fools you fell or something, bro. You fell on the workout equipment right here. And he's like, nah, I don't want to, bro. Like, well, you gonna die then. Fools are getting blood on my shoe. I'm like, bro, get up out of here. And he tells the cop, hey, look, man, look at my throat, man. And he's like, whoa, damn, hell yeah. You look tore up, man. What happened to you? Man, you can see your arteries. The arteries all moving. It's carotid, it's all flickering. And these fools are like, what do you want us to do? They're like, hell. And they were like, well, to walk your ass to medical. So he's over there holding his neck in place. So he ain't bleeding everywhere. And he gets to medical, knocks on the window, and he passes out, whatever. But there's just like so many incidents like that I can speak on, man. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Donavon was just, it was Animal House, man. It was way out. I think the whole 10 months I was there, I probably seen over 300 fights because we had a ring right there. As soon as you come out, you could just come out and fight. It was a blind spot. Everybody would fight, melees, everything, stabbings, everything. And it was crazy. And there was probably over 60, 70 stabbings there when I was there, and then 3 murders. And I was like, damn, bro, like, man, this place is just like, it's just a madhouse. So basically, it was complete chaos. There was no order, no structure, just not a place where you would think prison would be like, where there's order, people respect this man's area, this man's property, this man's life. And there was down there too, man. There was some all kind of crazy stuff, man. You had to do some other blocks going and pushing up cells and doing weird stuff to them, and like, bro, like, never have I ever seen no stuff like that. I mean, cops would swat your tray out your hand if you got an extra sausage or something just on accident. Tell you to go sit down. Your meal's over, and Like they were bullies. I'm gonna keep it real. They were bullies, man. But luckily they never got into it with us. I mean, whatever. They researched us when we got down there, and they're like, yeah, we'll just stay. You guys stay in your lane. We'll stay in ours. Like, all right, man, do what you do. And I mean, it got so bad that the week before we kicked it off on what, December 10th, 2018. They had like, I don't know, it was about 3 dozen people from Sacramento, the Office of Correctional Safety, a bunch of ISUs from a different prisons, the ombudsman, the ones that oversee the appeals and all that stuff. They came down and they interviewed over 100 inmates, but before they came, I guess the warden got wind, and he got rid of like most of all the the main dope connects and people that were factors down there, pushing doing things with the cops. So they got rid of all of them. So I mean, the people that came and sat couldn't interview them, whatever. I mean, so I they take me up there and they're like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm those so this and that from Sacramento." They pull me up. They're like, "We want to talk about the officer misconduct here and the this and that," because I guess the cops had broke some dude's neck on my block. Like, but that was before I got there. They killed him, whatever. But it was like, nah, man. I said, look, these dudes have left me alone. They left my homies alone. This is the best place I ever been, man. Just leave me alone, and I mean, I got nothing more to say. And that was that. But when I came out of that whatever the interview, whatever you call it, in the visiting room, IG was waiting for me, and they were like, "Look, man, you guys are Northerners. You guys can take over this yard." Like they were pretty much propositioning, saying that, if we eliminated this or that guy of the two fibers, then we would be in complete control of the yard and the yada yada yada. We're like, look, bro. Well, I told them, look, man, I can care less, man. We from up north. We're way too far from home, and we're cool. I mean, because down there it was like people lose their mind. It was like being in Vietnam or something, man. It was like it was too much. It was too much. There was too much. It wasn't systematic violence. It was chaotic violence, and that was a little far fetched for even someone like me who's been around it my whole life in here. It was like, you could just blast anybody and who cares? Nobody, the cops don't care. They'll just tell you to stop horseplaying. They even had it to where the nurses and the psychs, they couldn't hit the alarms because down there, they understood people are going to fight. They're going to stab it out and let them do what they got to do. But for the nurses, they told them this: if they're just fighting, if you don't see anything, no weapons or anybody getting stomped out, then just blow your whistle. So they blow a whistle instead of hitting their alarm. And that would just attract the towers, those in the building towers or on the yard towers, attention. And all they would say is, "Hey, stop horseplaying, break it up over there in front of 13 block." I mean, you see it all the time when these EOPs, like the super mental health patients, and I guess the chomos or whoever, or just weak individuals, they get their package day. Man, you got a bunch of people lined up, and it's like the street. People got knives to people's necks. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, trust me, bro. It sounds strange coming out of my mouth, man. I'm like, man, happening. Dudes getting knocked out, their package taken, and just walking off. And Donavon was mania, man. It was crazy. So that week, December 10th, 2018, we had got into some words with a couple blacks from a Donavon-based black gang. It was pretty much getting in our business. We had stabbed the individual who had hurt one of our homies 2 nights in a row. The individual I had spoke of earlier, and one of them had words saying, "Hey, that's his boy," and I mean, if y'all want to get him one-on-one, we're like, "Look, bro, we do what we do. This ain't black business, bro. You stay in your lane." And the individual was like, "Nah, bro, but man, that's my boy, and I mean, I'm part of this and that." And we're like, "Bro, I mean, all that don't mean nothing. Like, I could have 100 is here right now," and I'm like, "Look, bro, bring it, bro. We'll smack you just like we smacked your boys up in Salinas Valley in 2016, bro. There ain't gonna be no difference." And Donovan was cool in the effect to where, the Mexicans were mostly bonded, and that's one thing about my folks, man. we're Mexicans. I mean, and we don't like to see, another race, either bully or, get off on our people. So we'll assist them either, physically or with weapons or whatever, whatnot. And Donovan had that same mindset. So even some of the 2-5ers had heard what was going on and were like, look, fool, like, we got you, bro. If you guys take off from these blacks, man, we got you. And I mean, the blacks pretty much, they had control of, most of the financial aspects there. So, I mean, everybody was, kind of, at their beck and call as far as, financial things and, doing their thing. So, they wanted us to smack these dudes. Like, half these individuals were scared of the blacks down there. And it was like, look, bro, like, we just got to show these individuals, man. Ain't nobody bigger than the next individual, man. If you got the heart, the motivation, and the will to run through these, these individuals. So some of the 2-5ers like, look, man, we got you. Well, one of these dudes was an older cat who almost got killed in South Ave years ago. He had come back from Lancaster, and he got wind his homies were trying to get involved with us, and he was like, look, you guys need to just fall back on that. Like, if these NCs get off with the blacks, they stab us. That's cool, because I was individual scrappy after I got my package and my TV on Wednesday. And the individuals he's telling this to are our spies. And so they're like, oh, okay, man, we didn't know, bro. Yeah, we just won't get involved. 3 minutes later, they come to me like, look, bro, we told you we'd always keep in the loop. But this individual, his mother just passed away. He's feeling all, like gung-ho. And he's saying, he's going to on Wednesday, man, after he gets his package, everything's here already. Oh, he's going to get his package, TV, and his canteen. Like, that's these type of individuals. That's their mindset. They always want to get these materialistic things before handling business. So, I'm like, oh, okay. I got my homie right there, man. My homie Goofy. He like, look, oh, is that right? Bro? He like, man, let's gun this fool down right now. I was like, bro, just chill, bro. Then we got the weekend. Today's Friday. Monday, we'll rock. They talking about doing it Wednesday. We'll hit them 2 days before. So that's what we went ahead and did, man. The day of December 10th comes, man. We already had all our artillery. Each of us had 2 weapons on us. One was for us, and one was for in the event that the cops got out of hand with us, because it was Donovan. Donovan had I'm telling you, they had a very abusive hand down there. It was like ridiculous abusive. So the extra piece we had on us was, for them in the event that they beat one of the homies down too bad. And, the day comes out, we go out there to the yard, and they know something, though. They know something. Either somebody spoke or what. We had to smooth things out with the blacks. We had some of our black homies tone them down. And what we did was we're like, look, man, the ones that we trusted, we got something going on with these 2-5ers. But we need to pretend that there's still issues between us and the blacks. Even though it was smoothed out, let us pretend that we're still tripping on each other. And they were all with that because the blacks hated the 2-5ers too. So we're like, okay. So all weekend, we feigning animosity towards each other, but it's all fake. Just so if these individuals see us digging up our pieces and getting ready for war, the 2-5ers think it's for the blacks. So they're not tripping. But that day, I don't know how or some way they got wind that it may be them, and they were all grouped up, passing around, passing knives and whatever. And they come up to me in canteen, like 2 of them, man. They're like, "Hey, bro, is everything cool?" We're like, "Yeah, it's cool, bro. What's up, bro? I got like 3 knives on me, man, because I'm passing them out. I mean, 2 for me, and I brought extra now for the homie, and there's 8 of us out there, and each of us have two bangers on us, so that we have 16 weapons between us." And this dude's like, "Man, is it good, man? Is it everything cool?" Like, "Yeah, bro." Like, nah, it's good, bro. It's smooth, man. We tripping on these Africanos right now, bro. These people disrespected, man. So yeah, we probably gonna go up with these cats. And instantly you see the relief on his face, like, oh, that's it. Okay, man, that's cool. Like, yeah, you guys don't need nothing. Like, no, we're good, fool. We're set. And I had got him to the point where he was eased, and he ran off to his homies, and he told them. You could see the relief on their faces, and they start walking around talking about they're gonna go in during unlock, so they don't have to be out there during the riot. Immediately, we already know we gotta move on these fools quick. We can't do it at the end of the yard or whenever they're in a certain position. But I had already envisioned that this individual, the older cat, would be on the fence talking to the EOP cats in the mental health area, because he's always trying to score dough from these individuals. And man, lo and behold, man, right before unlock, that fool's right there on the fence, just trying to get a shot, man. Just typical drug addict. And I tell one of the homies, bro, like, look, bro, you're new here. He don't really know your face. So go ahead and spin a route, man. Go ahead and spin a lap, and as soon as you get within distance, the two-step rule, man. Once you're 2 steps away from an individual, you bring out your piece secretly, hide it, disguise it with your other hand, and do your thing. So that's exactly what he do. He had like a 9.5 inch ice pick, man, and yeah, man. The homie did his thing, man. The viejo did his thuggy on that cat, man. Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad, man. He came out the other side. He instantly crumpled. I mean, we all run in, man. We all run in. This individual came he was trying to run away. He swung him in the head with like some speakers or something. And I mean, it was nothing. Bam, I started chasing this individual with the 8.5 inch flat all around the handball court, banging on him, Nuestra Cosa, this, that, bruh. And, this individual running around. He running around like Tom and Jerry. And the individual's name is Jerry. But, man, we ended up running down the hill, and his big old fat homie's right there, man. This big old fat cat from Orange County. And he throwing his hands up in there like, man, let's talk about this stuff, guys. Because I had told the homies, look, we're going to rush this individual on this side of the handball court. You guys head off the guys that are coming up. Because there was a gang, it was like, I think like 13, 14 of them individuals out there. And we said, look, you guys cut these dudes off at the pass. As soon as they try to run up, man, just start blasting them. And they would, man, I will say this, man, 9 out of 10 riots, man, don't happen the way you plan. We even had, a location where we were all going to meet up at the end of it, just make sure we make it back to this spot so we're all together. And, man, it was just chaos, man, because these dudes were just running around everywhere, man. Like, they just running for their lives, man. I kept yelling at these fools to engage and whatnot, but, like, the big fat dude, man, he had his hands up, man. The homie got to him first, man. And there was like 3 of us on him, man. I jumped on him like a cat and everything, man. Piece first, right? It was bad, man. The dude was screaming, man. He was screaming. It was sad, man. That was horrible, man. I was like, oh hell no, help! But he's like, where are my homies? Where are my homies? Just getting. And his homies are just like running around. They got homies, we got viejos chasing these dudes around the tables, man. Like, bro, I mean, it was like playing tag, These dudes were gone. Only one individual, man, he tried to swing a piece. I mean, because they had a couple pieces themselves. Only one individual tried to swing, but he swung with his head down. And right when they swung it, they had a shot, boom, right in between us. So he scrambles his way, and I start chasing another individual on the light poles, older by medical. And it was just, man, like, we couldn't catch these cats, man. I fell. I did one of my famous ninja rolls, man. Like, all my homies know I'll be doing that. I mean, I found this, it was like a little ditch made by trucks, because trucks come on the yard to bring the food and all that. And it had been raining. I had my boots on because I had got the yard crew position. I had got out of laundry so I can get the yard crew position, because it was almost time to go. Like, we had to get out of there, man. Homies were losing their mind. There was too much dope down there, too much nonsense. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, man, that old man and the big dude, man, were the only ones we ended up really getting, man. They went to outside hospitals, and it was pretty bad for them. I think I got pictures of them in my book, man. But all the other homies, the other 11 cats, man, they just ran. They never engaged with none of the homies, and it was like, bro, like, we had told a couple of the other gangs that were down there, like, look, man, you guys are fear of these dudes because they're a number, that they're big. But watch our small fighting force, bro. Watch us. attack these individuals, and then you'll see, bro, these dudes are nobodies, bro. As soon as you come at them like lions, that's it, man. All the puppy come out then. And that's what it was. We were on the ground. I got hit with the baton. They split my knee open. That was about it though. And they hit me with the baton, little police, but it was never escalated to where we had to bust out our piece against them. Now, when I was on the ground, the warden came out because that yard was so bad. The warden had to move his office was in CR gym. That's how bad it was. He was right there in CR gym, and he came out and was like, "Man, I'm gonna talk to you when this is all over." The IGI dude came out, the main dude, lieutenant, whatever, was like, "Look, man, we knew you were gonna do it. We put cameras up, footage. It's our personal footage."
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Because they be doing that. They be keeping their own little file footages. And I ended up going to the hole with all the homies that day, and I think that was a Monday, right? Yeah, it was a Monday. We hit the hole. I mean, all the 2 fires back there are all sad, like, man, they seen it, or not seen it, but they're hearing it on the news, because we made the news on that day. And we're like, look, bro, I mean, your homies got what they got coming, bro. They want to run their mouth, bro. I mean, y'all should just, action speaks, bro. Y'all should just moved on this, bro. Like, we was down there chilling. Well, was it Monday? Monday we went to the whole Monday night, because they had us in the gym for like, I don't know, from the time of the incident, like 10:30 to like 9:30 at night. And none of the 2 fires went to the hole, just us. The other 2 individuals, they were in the outside hospital, UC San Diego or something like that. And 4 or 5 days later, it was on Friday. Yeah, Friday they came. They tried to take me to a special committee to transfer me right there, because I'm a warden to warden transfer, population management. So they had 10 wardens on the line, I guess, before I got there, and none of them wanted me. Only one that would accept me was Calipat. But then I told them, look, man, I'm triple CMS. I can't go to no Calipat. So then they squashed my transfer that day, because they tried to emergency transfer me out. And then I ended up going to committee, that next Thursday or something. And from committee, IGI personally themselves drove me in a van to Lancaster and, dumped me off there. And that's why I ended up running into that cat back. And, the story from there, bro. But that was just a snippet of Donovan, man. Donovan is way too much of a tale to be spun in one interview, man. That's too much, man. But yeah, bro, that's a little Donovan spill right there, bro. Man, well, I wish you all the best, bro. Talk to you later.